So when it comes to pistol stabilizer kits or chassis, whatever you want to call it, I think these are a lot of fun. This is one of my favorites. This is the Recover Tactical S Pro. I like that S Pro so much that I bought this Recover Tactical 2021. And this thing is a beast. I got my Glock 40 chambered in 10mm in this one. But my love for these kits started out with this one right here. This is the Gen 1 CAA MCK. In fact, I like that one so much, I ended up getting this Gen 2 CAA MCK kit. But there's one big problem with all those kits I just showed you. All of those are brand or model specific, which means when you order one, you got to order it for the gun that you want to put in it. But then this came out. This is the CAA MCK EVO. And what makes this kit so unique over all the other ones I just showed you? This one works with over 100 different guns. Alright, before we kick off this tutorial, I got to get a couple things out of the way real quick. First off, to the YouTube censors, this is a stabilizer kit. This is not a gun. It's not any kind of firearm. There's no ammunition present in this room. And I'm not doing any modifications. All I'm showing is people how to put together this stabilizer kit. And the last thing, this video is going to be pretty long. And I know this video is not for everybody, but if you're thinking about picking up this kit, I am going to do a very detailed tutorial. And by the end of this video, you will know everything you need to know about this kit and how to use it. All right, we're over on the other bench. We're going to get this opened up and see what all comes in the box. Now, I am going to break this up into two videos. I was going to try to put it all into one, but we've got a ton of stuff to go over because this is compatible with so many different guns. There's a lot of pieces and parts to make this all work. But if you stay tuned till the end of the video, I'm going to have an optic mounted on this. I'm going to have the gun in it. I'll show you how I'm going to have this all set up for the next video, which will be the first shots video. Now, there's a ton of stuff in here, but they have different variations of this you can buy. They pretty much sent me every single thing that they have for this kit. So the first thing we have here is the rear spare magazine carrier. This is an add-on or an upgrade to the package, depending on what you want to get. And we'll dive into this later on how to use this and how to mount it on the kit. And then we have the Beaver tail adapters. And there are a lot of them, as you can see. I'm going to show you how to use these as well. And here we have gun-specific adapters. And we'll talk about that later on, why this is such a big deal. But if you look here, you have a SIG 365 adapter. You have an adapter for the Glock 43s and 48s and the Glock 26 and 27. Right now, what's in here is basically the 1913 adapter. And here we have the actual kit. It is wrapped in plastic. I went with the black and gray. I thought this looked really good. Now, you can get this in different colors. They have black, FDE. I'll bring a picture up on the screen so you can see the different colors. And we've got another bag here full of parts. We'll open that up in a second. Here we have a paper of talking points. And then here it says stop, read this first. When inserting the firearm, ensure the button is up and the beaver tail clicks into place. And you also have a QR code you can scan. And that is everything in the box. All right, now we're going to open up this bag. I do not know what all is in here, so we're going to get all this stuff dumped out. So the first thing we have is a sling. Pretty nice sling. It is a single point sling. You have your QD adapter right here, and it is one of your bungee slings. We also have thumb rests. I've got these on my other two CAA MCK kits. Definitely going to be using those. We also have flip-up iron sight. These are actually pretty nice. They're not iron, they're actually polymer. Oh, we got a fiber optic front, orange sight, and we got a peephole sight on the back, but it's got a fiber optic rod around it. So our rear sight is adjustable for windage, and our front sight is adjustable for elevation. Got a knob right here. Turn it to raise it up and down. And then we have this part. I'm not sure what this part is. Almost looks like a cheek riser. We'll figure that out here in a little bit. And then we have our light. This actually clips into the front of the kit, and we've got a battery in it already. And it works. Very cool. Let's see what kind of battery it runs on. I'm guessing it's going to be a CR123A. All right, it says HD 16340 on it. Very cool. All right, the first thing we're going to do is install the light. So right now it's just kind of got a dummy light in it. I know it's going to be hard to see, but there is an Allen head screw in there. So we're going to just take our tool. We're going to loosen this up. You got a tab here and a tab over here. You're going to take your finger and your thumb, push that in, and pull that out. Now, once you got that out, you're going to take your light. You can see right here you have two tabs. It is going to go in a little tight. You're just going to shove that in just like that. Now the next thing we want to do is put on our thumb ledge or our gas pedal. Got some really nice serrations here on the top. And as you can see, this will just slide right on to your 1913 rail right here. Super easy to do. You're just going to slide that right onto the rail. Got a little tab here. Just pick up on that. I want mine as far forward as I can get it. And then once you got it right there, just push it back and lock it on. And now you have your thumb ledge. Now, one thing I noticed on these is you have two different textures on each side. So you've got this style texture on this side and this on that. So in order to do that, we're going to pop that tab up, pull it out, and now you can turn it this direction, pull up on your tab, slide it on, lock it down, and now you can get even further forward. I moved mine back one more notch, and that's just perfect right there. That's right where I want it. But a lot of versatility on the thumb ledge. Now, if multiple people are going to shoot this gun, a left-handed shooter or a right-handed shooter, you can put them both on if you want. I'm going to leave it off. No point in it. I'm just going to keep it right there. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is the mag carrier up front. All the CAA MCK kits have these, but this is also a con to this, and one of my complaints already. This mag carrier in the front will only work with Glock 9mm mags and Glock 40 cal mags. So your Glock 19 mags, 17 mags, and any gun that you put in this that runs on Glock mags, well, you're going to be able to put a spare mag up in the front. Now, right now, it's just got a little dummy plate here. If you look on this side, you got your mag release. Just push that in, and that's going to drop out. And now you can insert your Glock mags. But what frustrates me with this kit is that you can put over 100 different guns in it, but up here in the front, you're going to be stuck to just using Glock mags. So that's something you want to keep in mind. I just really wish they would have come out with some kind of adapter, maybe widen this a little bit, where you can insert the adapter and then the mag for a bunch of different mags. But I get it. It is what it is. And a lot of people are going to be putting Glocks in these. All right, now the next thing we want to do is get our flip-up sights installed. So we've got a little thumb screw here you can loosen up. Be careful. You got your nut captured right here, but that might fall out. So I'm going to set this towards the back, probably put it about right there. Make sure you can see your hole on the other side through your 1913 rail. Go ahead and take your piece, lay it on there, grab your screw, go ahead and run that through and tighten it up. Make sure your nut's still captured on this side, torque it down, and these are flip-up sights. So they work really well. They are ambi. Got your switch here and your switch here. And we're going to do the same thing with the front sight. And take this out, that right on the front. Confirm you can see through your 1913 rail. And put that on there and tighten it down. And same deal. Got your switch on both sides. Very cool. All right, the next thing we're going to do is put our cheek riser on the back here. So as you can see, you got 4 holes right here. These are lining up with these ones. Just push that down until you can see through the holes. On this side here, you're going to capture your nuts right here. You do get everything in the kit. We're going to go ahead and dump those out and take our nut, drop it in right there. Put your finger over that, flip it upside down, and just tighten that down. And go ahead and put that in. Same thing. We're going to flip that up, put your screw through, and tighten it down. And there we go. We have our cheek riser installed. All right, the next thing I want to go over is how to install the adapters. Now, a lot of this is going to be really hard to show you, but if you look down in here, you can see where the 1913 rail on your pistol slides in. That's the way this is set up from the factory. So pretty much any pistol that has that 1913 rail, you're going to shove it in and that's where it's going to lock in. And you have that pull tab right here. You have this on both sides. You pull down on that and on that at the same time to pull the gun out of the rail adapter. But when we were doing the unboxing, I showed you that you have these adapters for the Glock 26, 27, the SIG 365, and we also have the adapter for the Glock 43 and 48. So you're going to take these 2 parts and they just snap together, just like that. They're going to be loose. Now here on the back, you've got what you grab a hold of to take it out. What you're going to do is flip this upside down again. And if you look in there, like I said, you'll see that 1913 rail adapter. You're going to take this, slide it in, and it is a very tight fit. Get that lined up just like that. Go ahead and shove it down. You'll hear it click. And now your adapter is in if you want to run a Glock 43 or 48 in this. Now to take it out, they are tight. But like I said, you're going to pull down on this lever, pull down on this lever, grab this, and pull it out. I'm not going to need this adapter because the pistol I'm putting in this, I'm just going to use the 1913 rail adapter. All right, the next thing we want to do is put our spare mag carrier on. Now, we have a QR code you can scan that says scan this for compatibility. Over here, if we look, it says fits over 150 different magazines and it has 8 included shims. Now, I'm going to go ahead and give you a spoiler here. The gun that I'm putting in this is not on the compatibility list, but the gun that I'm putting in this uses a very popular magazine. So I'm going to go scan this QR code and figure out which one I need. But before I do that, let's go ahead and get this opened up, get all these extra parts out of here. All right, so I can already see what they're doing here. These do have a rubber band wrapped around them. I'm looking to see if there are any numbers on this. Okay, I found it. Looks like here on the inside, this one has a number 8. This one's a number 3. So they are numbered. So I'll know exactly which one I need to use. All right, I went ahead and scanned the QR code. It brought up exactly what shim I needed to use. And these are actually the shims. So I need shim number 8. You look here on the bottom, you got a hole. You look here, you got a tab. What you're going to do is slide this in just like that. They are tight. And that's all there is to it. Now let's see if it works with the mag I want to use. But before I do that, we need to check our orientation. So if you look here, we've got a slope. This looks like this is going to just set right in like that. Now that I know I have the right shim, we're going to put this on. So we've got our 2 holes here that are going to capture the nuts. It's just going to lay in just like that. We're going to go ahead and drop our nut on here. Okay, put your finger over that. Flip this over. We're going to run our screw through this side. And we're going to get that started. All right, there's one. Now we're going to take our other nut and do the exact same thing. All right, now we're going to grab the spare mag, slide this in. It'll go right to the back of the brace and stop. I like it. All right, now we're down to the last thing, and that is installing your beaver tail adapter for whatever gun you're going to use on this. Now, to open this up, you're going to hit this button here, slide that back, and then that's just going to flip open. Now, this is the adapter that came installed on the kit. And down inside here, we have a Torx bit. And it uses the same size Torx bit that I use to put on the mag carrier and the cheek riser. So what you're going to do is loosen this up. Now, that's going to pull out. We're going to set this down. I need that screw. And now we're going back to this bag, and this has all the beaver tail adapters in it. Now, I've already got the adapter out that I need. But let's say you find the right beaver tail adapter, but the gun is still just a little bit loose. They actually have shims inside another bag, inside this bag. And what you're going to do is slide those shims onto here. That's going to push that out a little further, and you're going to be able to get that fitment dialed in right where you want it. All right, so here's the beaver tail adapter I'm using for my application. These can only go in one way, but you got your two tabs here. You see your two holes here. That's going to drop in just like that. We're going to grab that screw, drop that down in there, and we're just going to tighten it up. All right, now I've got my adapter installed. I'm not going to be able to show you how to put the gun in on YouTube. But what you're going to do is you're going to slide your gun in, and just like I showed you earlier how to put that Glock 43 adapter in there, that same slot that adapter slid into is where the rail of your gun is going to slide in and lock in. Once you get that in place, you're going to flip this down. It is spring-loaded. You're going to pull forward and it will lock. To disengage it and get your gun back out, you're going to hit the button here. Push back, lift up, pull that out. And then to pull the gun out of the kit, we go back to these two buttons here. You got one here, one on this side. You're going to grab them both, pull down, grab your gun, pull it out of the kit. Super easy. All right, I spent a lot of time on that tutorial, and I think I pretty much went over everything you're going to need if you decide to get one of these for yourself. Now, I do want to backtrack on one thing. When it comes to the light, I did a little more research on this light and played around with it a little more. This actually has 3 brightness modes. We're going to turn it on, and all you got to do is hold down on that button, and you're going to watch it cycle through the different brightness level modes. Tap it, and it shuts off. There is also a strobe feature on this. I'll never use it, but some people like strobe. So all you're going to do, turn the light on, and you're going to triple click it, and we're in strobe mode. Touch the button again, and it shuts off. So now let's talk about what gun I'm putting in this stabilizer kit. So my carry gun is the Ross Martin RM1C Comped. I've got a bunch of Ross Martin magazines, and I also have the CZ Nocturne full size, and those mags also work in this Ross Martin. And this is my first Ross Martin. This is the original RM1C. I don't use this gun anymore. Now that I have the Comped, that's what I carry. So this gun's just been sitting in the safe collecting dust. So when they reached out to me about this kit, I thought, okay, I'm already carrying the Ross Martin RM1C Comped, and I'm carrying a backup mag. So what I want to do with this is turn this into a truck gun or a backpack gun and use my Ross Martin RM1C in this. And then all the mags I have for my Comped will work in this, and I can carry an extra mag here on the back. Now, if you're watching this on YouTube, I have to censor this part out, but we're going to go ahead and install the gun in the stabilizer kit. We're going to hit our button. We're going to push down, pull this back. We're going to take the gun. We're going to put it in here and slide it right in to that 1913 adapter I showed you. You're going to hear it click and lock in just like that. And the easiest thing to do is flip it upside down. We're going to take this with our beaver tail adapter, push it in, wait till you hear the click, and we're locked in, ready to go. Now let me show you how to use the brace on this. It's pretty simple. You're going to push up and pull it towards you. And now you have a very compact package. And to put the brace back out, you just grab it and flip it. It is spring assisted, so if you lay the gun this way, it's not going to fall. And you just lock it back in. You do not have to push up or push down on it to put it back in this position. Now that we have the gun in here, I want to talk about the last thing, and that is the charging handle. It basically has an AR-15 style charging handle, and it is ambi. You can pull it from this side or this side. One thing to keep in mind with this is if you pull it back slow and let it out, you are going to have to push it back in. If you slingshot it, you don't have to do that. So now let me get an optic on this and I'll show you what it looks like with the optic. Alright, I went ahead and put the Goatar B22 on here. This optic's probably 4 years old. It's working great. And it works great on here. When I bring this up, that dot is right there. And the best part, if the dot goes down, well, I can co-witness my iron sights or polymer sights, whatever we want to call them, with no issues. So I hope you got something out of this video. I love doing tutorials like this. And there's really nothing out on this kit when it comes to putting it together. CAA's got some very short videos on how to do different pieces and parts of this gun, but they're lacking a little bit. So I wanted to put out a full comprehensive guide on how to use this. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit the sub button, because the next video on this, we're actually going to take it to the range and have some fun with it.